Hey everybody, doing it a little bit differently. I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna have a conversation with you today. And the topic is gonna be all about what it means to transmute an emotional state in particular. So it's an energy-based conversation, a spiritual conversation. This came up in my psychic development circle in Patreon, and I want to talk about this, okay? And I know exactly what I want to say, but I want to do this video differently because, okay, I am being transmuted. I am being transmuted. Every single day, I'm being transmuted. So I transmute, I simultaneously am being transmuted. And what is that? Because what goes on externally goes on internally in this big, massive cosmic mirror environment. So what happens externally or what happens internally also is done unto me, is it done unto my soul, is done unto my life path. And I'm embracing of transformation. I'm embracing of evolution. I want to learn. I came here to learn. So this was somewhere, I want to say July-ish. But I noticed that the patterns were changing. That's what I call it. So if you still the pond, if you just become silent, if you meditate, such a classic term, if you meditate, just all you have to do is just stop for a minute. Just stop for a minute. That's all meditation is. Just stop with your forward motion. Just stop for a minute, okay? And when you stop for a minute, now you start to discover that you're at the nucleus of one massive big spider web, that you're vibrating information out, and it's vibrating, okay, information back into you constantly. And when you meditate, or when you just stop for a minute and you start to become silent, which is still the pond, you start to become aware that the infinite universe has something to say to you, and that you're a part of this, the fabric of all things. You're part of this. This isn't some nice thing to say or some spiritual cuckoo thing to say. This is a divine truth. A divine truth is a raw truth. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. So that's pretty solid, right? You could say 1 + 1 = 2 is a divine truth because it gives us a ground to build upon. Now E = mc². So a divine truth gives us solid ground. If it turns out that 1 + 1 = 2 wasn't as solid a ground as we thought, well, it's still built. It's still built a human race that designed everything based upon the simple pattern. 1 + 1 = 2. Now we have all these complex discoveries about it, and we're learning about the universe based upon this simple beginning, this ground, okay? So we're talking about transmuting. Well, I'm being transmuted as well. I notice the patterns are changing because I stop for a minute and I pay attention. There's more wind out there than just the breeze, okay? There's energetic wind that you can just tell. You can just feel it. Something's changing. It's not because you conveniently wanted to, or you thought maybe it was. You experienced it because something changed inside yourself. Whether you tried or you didn't try, you thought it there, you didn't think it there, you are aware of it. You just are aware of it, okay? So in July-ish, notice the patterns were changing. In all my forward motion, there was this energetic wall because I couldn't do anything that was familiar to me, no matter how I insisted. I put it into the schedule and got organized and made sure and overextended myself to make sure, and everything was against. I was going against the grains of whatever this new pattern was. As I'm also going through this transformation, because I'm going through movement, I'm going through travel, and I'm in different environments, different time zones, stuff like that. So it's being done to me as well. I'm being transmuted from one version of myself into another version of myself. I'm going through life, right? So I am being transmuted. I am changing. I am going from one pattern into another pattern where 1 + 1 = 2 into my state of existence, and everything that I was doing up until July now isn't the same. It's some new 1 + 1 = 2. So I am new. Even information that I had received in the strangest kind of way. I made a video somewhere in there and I deleted it. I don't know what the big deal was, to be honest. I don't know why I was so sensitive to talking about this topic, and I tried again and again, and I made a great hour-long message to really get into the roots of this experience I was going through, because I defined it as I had no identity. I was literally being transmuted to the point that I was zero. When you become aware that you now have no identity, I don't know if I died and now I am discovering myself as the new me, but you have no identity. Oftentimes I choose to not have an identity as a way to transmute whatever stress I'm enduring. And so this is what I do to transmute stress. If I need to, I just go for a walk. And when I go for that walk, if I need this, when I desperately need this, I'll just do this, okay? Every step I take, I'm getting further and further and further and further away from myself, away from my name, away from my fact that I'm a female and I'm this age, you know, with this life that I live. I walking away from it all, okay? I just walk away. I just walk away. I just walk away. And I keep walking and I keep walking and I keep walking and I keep walking until there's nothing left. I'm just a nothing. And I don't have any identity, period. And once that happens, I can breathe. I feel like I can breathe, okay? Once I can breathe, I have literally unplugged myself from whatever was creating a big friction inside myself. I'm getting a phone call. Back to what I was saying. Okay, you walk away from everything. And then when you get to that 0 point, literally a point on the walk where you literally are disconnected, 100%, because you're not thinking about it. You're not relating to it. Can you completely erase existence from yourself? Yes, you can. You literally can. You just still the pond until there's nothing. Until there's nothing of you. There's nothing of your life. There's nothing of any of this. It's just nothing of it. This isn't a depressed state. This is an accomplished mastery. This is a place of power. Because being human, it's not nice. It's a cruel world, right? And so we have these beautiful inspirations, these beautiful goals, these beautiful people we want to be. And we have this overlay of the dirt, right? And we have to wallow in the filthy, pig-filled mud as we work our way towards something clean and beautiful. But we always carried it inside ourselves. So sometimes the mud gets in, and the grossness gets in, and you just have to walk away to clean it out of your system, just unplug. It's a smart thing to do. It's an empowering thing to do. This isn't a weakness. This is a strength, okay? It's because you're bringing the strength back to yourself by becoming yourself again without all the noise, because we're in the spider web and it vibrates information and vibrates people and things people have said and memories and stuff you can't change and really crappy situations. And it's constantly there and you're inhaling and exhaling it and you're digesting it in your energy field. It's constantly there. You're swimming in it, you know, you're yelling at it, screaming at it, blaming things, pleading to God, crying. No, you got to get back to yourself again. Because that right there is just grabbing hands, okay, that want to grab you and pull you down. So now you have to transmute that simply by unplugging and becoming yourself again vibrationally. Because yourself could be an idea, but you feel at peace, you feel centered, you feel like this is a real life I'm living. This is hard stuff. And I'm going to be the best me that I know how to be as I go through this hard stuff. Because you're the master here. The hard stuff, does it master you? No. You master the hard stuff. All right? And the hard stuff is just there. It's just stuff that's there. That you master the hard stuff and then you become a role model for others so they can master the hard stuff too. And then the human race just keeps mastering until we don't even really have to master because we just all became masters. It's freaking easy. It's really easy, right? All right. So I'm giving you an example. That's just an example here of how to transmute. energy if you're in that predicament. And then when you turn around, you have to walk back to yourself. You have to walk back to your life. You have to walk back to your name and your age and your body and your life and these people and everything. You have to walk back. Like, you walk away, right? But you have to walk back, and you have to embrace it. And it's going to embrace you back. All right? And it's going to transmute you too. And as you get transmuted, as you change and you become a new person, and then you're saying, who am I? Wow, look at me. I'm somebody I've never met before. Because that can happen too in life, right? All right, so July-ish, August-ish, make a video, deleted it. Because it wasn't a choice that I didn't have an identity. It just happened, and it was disturbing, and I couldn't make it go away. So I just had to pretend, right, to be the person that I'm familiar with being. So I just be that person as I feel absolutely no vibration, as I feel still, okay? And I can't create my authentic heartbeat, you know? And so I was talking about things that during this period of time that I knew, and I wasn't going to let it be a curiosity anymore. I wasn't going to let it be something that I was constantly wondering about, because it didn't really apply to who I am, whoever this me is. And even so much as this me may not do YouTube anymore, okay? I mean, there comes a point where you just grow. You grow out of stuff, you know? But this is my one connection to the outside world. And I feel the outside world, I feel like I want the outside world to know that there's regular, humble, weird people trying, people have learned some stuff, might have something useful to share, might have something helpful, that there's still good people that say good things. At least I try to say the good stuff here, you know, in the world. And if I'm not on YouTube anymore, then where can I be found, you know? And you have to just know I exist, really. And so that's been circulating as, if there isn't any more YouTube, or then what is there? You know, what are my needs? You know, because I have a need to share what I've learned. I have a need to share what I've learned because I have to get it out of my system, because I'm constantly digesting and pondering and experiencing very unique things that a lot of the world just wants to pretend that the spirit realm is something you can fit into a religious conversation in a Bible, whatever that Bible is to you, whatever religion you choose. That's a schooling, that's a classroom, right? But there's those of us who walk the path of the forest, and we find nature to be our religion in some way. There's something else that speaks to us. And it's dynamic, it's flexible, it's a divine spirit, it's God in its own right, it's pure love, it's something familiar to all the religions, it's just spoken in this way. You know, with talking about energy and talking about dimensions and other beings and communicating with other beings that are not nice, beings that are nice, and how do you face that stuff? And it doesn't make you insane to have these experiences. It doesn't make you, it's not fair that these conversations make so many people uncomfortable, because the people who really need someone to talk to about their crazy experiences are so alone. It's such a lonely road. So if I'm not there anymore, well, there's going to always be someone that's there, but they're not going to be me. You know, so I have to decide if this me is still an essential role to humanity in this way. Like, how do I feel about that? So the two things that I talked about in that video that I deleted, one of them was an experience that I had in April 2020-ish. I made a video, I talked about it. I probably talked about it a couple times in the last couple years. But it was a very weird time, and there was a connection between an alien race, and it's as real as giant spaceships like you hear some people talk about, which is something I've never been able to really see on this level. And I don't really jive with frequency conversations that like come through in this way. It just felt too mind to mind, where I like heart to heart conversations. And anyway, I was talking to a being that looked very frog-like, okay? It was like an upright, had a huge face, huge mouth, greenish in color, looked like a big frog that stood up, okay? Wore clothes. And was telling me that it's telling me a lot of things, and some of it's foggy because I'm just letting all of this go. But one of the key details was that I'm not going to be Abbey normal anymore. It was the first time I'd ever heard that, even as an idea, because I was in the rhythm. I didn't even think about this was going to come to an end at some point. I'm just going with the flow. This the rest of my life. And then I was like, the first time I ever had that thought, I was like, what? So I guess I'll just stop now, just leave, just walk away because you told me. Great, no explanation. No explanation. And maybe I'm not capable of that explanation. I don't know. But upon these humongous ships, there were generations of human beings living amongst alien beings. Where are they? Some interdimensional plane, okay? We aren't able to visibly see them in this physical plane, but they're there, okay? They're there just like we're there to them. They're there to us. Stop what you're doing, meditate, and you'll experience that spider web that I'm describing, and you can connect on to anything you want to connect on. And whatever you connect on is connected to you too. So just remember that. If you connect on to something evil, well, are you to be afraid of the evil thing, or is the evil thing to be afraid of you? Because you connected to it, it connected to you, so now there's a connection that's shared, okay? Don't ever be afraid of evil stuff. All right, so that threw me for a loop, and I've been kind of having that in the background of my mind, wondering, when this was all going to fall into place, or maybe I just don't have a role in YouTube anymore, or maybe YouTube would just stop existing one day, and I didn't know. I've always wondered about it. I always wondered about the day when I would just not be on YouTube anymore. And it was speaking to me at that time, July-ish, August-ish, because I lost my identity for a couple weeks. And it was real. It was very real. And I knew that there was something in this moment that was so essential that I can't be defined by these. I can't be defined by an exchange that I can't really understand. I can only be defined by what I decide is the next step for me. And I just sent it away, basically. It's kind of weird because I'm talking about it, which means I'm grabbing hold of it again so I can share the message. And I'm grabbing hold of it again. It just feels important because we're talking about transmuting things, but we become transmuted as well. Remember that, because you just don't think that way. People just don't think like that. But yeah, that is a thing too, okay? So the other one, which I've talked about here and there, is this one still gets to me. This one still gets to me because when you have these experiences, it's not a fantasy. When you have these experiences, it jacks you up, man. It messes you up when you have these experiences because you didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for the freaking frog guy to come talk to me. I didn't ask for him to show me all the ships and all the humans that live there. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for the conversation too about the human race and how we're just living in a koi pond and all the fish are bumping into the walls, and I'm trying to talk to them about the meaning of being a koi, and they just keep bumping into the walls. When are you going to just leave the koi fish behind? That's like, what are you talking about? I'm here because the divine within me, I find myself right where I'm meant to be, frogman. And I find you right where you're meant to be for some reason. So there was this conversation between the heart of what was within me and the dumbfoundedness as well, and this being that really needed to tell me this. For what purpose? I don't know, okay? I didn't ask for this. All right, so the next thing, my future self, still messes me up every time I just need to let her go, because the hard part about that one is there's so many hard parts about that one. was, for one, her grief that me in the future, and some version of the future, which is very obviously me, and she is quite old when she found me, a younger version of herself. And the world at the time I met her, which let's say was 10 years ago, what it looked like to me, shopping malls and cars and jobs and everything that's familiar about the world, right? But where she came from, she didn't even have clothes. She was basically wearing a makeshift dress out of a blanket and a freaking rope. She was coarse looking. She was rough. I didn't even know it was me. I mean, I didn't even know why she was here. I thought she was a wicked witch or something. She had a staff that was just a fallen tree, okay? It was just like one of those, all right? And she wasn't looking to find me. She was looking for my children, her children. She wanted to see them again. And her grief, I feel it still. I was dumbfounded about it because it happened. I went back to sleep and I woke up and her presence was still there. It was still there. Like noon and 1 and 2, and she was crying. She lost everything. Like she lost everything again and again. Like she's seen the loss of humanity. It seemed like she's seen the loss of everything that was a familiarity to all of us. She saw it all go away. As she's just one of these remainders in a gone world of sorrow. And I just couldn't believe the world would ever become like that. Then the pandemic hit. I was starting to think, is it possible the world could get that bad? And where we stand right now, where the new Hollywood is politics and the world is literally divided by algorithm. And so you're going to get to feast off of what suits you. So you go to this side of the pie or that side of the pie, but really you're divided by politics, defines what kind of person you are, apparently. That we could be defined so conveniently into this side or that side. And what side do you stand on? Why can't we just be individual human beings again? Who we each carry certain talents and to bring out the best in each other and appreciate each other. And appreciate the frictions, appreciate the disagreements. And because you either put energy in to build something or you complain and argue and say it was done all wrong, but you do nothing to put energy in to build anything but tear everything down. So are you breaking things down or are you building things up? But it's strange because the world's about building people. What kind of person is the world building? As we also have AI, which is a person too. All right, so what kind of world are we building here? It's a very good question. So transmuting is happening to you, all right? It's happening to me. But we also have to transmute what we have to face, right? In day-to-day life, we have to transmute what we're becoming overwhelmed by or confused by, because day to day is just not predictable. You can't just fit it into a box and that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can't just do it. You get this curveball and that curveball. It knocks you out of the tree. You've been climbing for months. Now you're on the ground. Now the ground disappears. You're falling through the sky. You don't know up from down because up turned upside down and now you're in outer space. That's life, And so how do you find the ground again? You stop. Meditate. Meditate is just stop. Just stop, okay? That's meditate. Just stop. That's what meditating is. It just stop. It's freaking easy. Just stop. Be still. Now listen. Listen. Ask a question. Listen. Listen to what comes back to you. So you find it in your heart, You always find it in your heart. So I deleted the videos. I just wasn't myself. I literally wasn't. I wasn't myself because I didn't know what I was. It looked like me. This is still my name, still what I do. I'm just going through a thing. And I re-listened to that video. I spent hours actually trying to tell you guys this thing. And I just didn't feel alive about it because I just felt like an empty can or something. Anyway, Guess I'm talking about it now. Must not have meant to be shared at that time. Maybe it's meant to be shared now. I don't know. They're sharing it now, so must be meant to be. And I had made a decision that I was going to let those things go, because obviously if you always wonder if the world's going to become the nightmare that that future self carried and wafted it around your space crying, I mean, it doesn't go away. It doesn't ever go away. And you'll never get an answer to it, so don't even try. But you never stop wondering about it. So it's one of those cool mysteries, but I'm the one that has to live with it, and it doesn't make me feel awesome. It makes me feel her pain that is still there. And am I still in pain? Am I linked to some 80-year-old woman who's lost everything? Am I still linked to her? If I don't let her go, I'll feel that in my heart. How do I transmute her? I have to accept her. That's how I transmute her, not by changing her, but by accepting her. And I don't know how to do it because I feel her pain, because she can't come into peace inside herself, at least not when I knew her. And I've done journeys into this, and it's like one of those things that you have to live with, you know? Because some pain you just have to live with. In some way, some of those pains you live with make you special. Like, it's just not a pain you can ever fix. It's just a pain that you live with. It's a pain that actually makes you special. And then sometimes you just need to walk away from everything so you can find your breath again, get to that 0 point area, and then return to yourself. And you'll return to yourself feeling clean, feeling refreshed. You will. So this is a conversation about transmuting that word on an energy level. Just to talk, I guess. I wanted to do it differently because, you know, I'm standing instead of sitting, and I want to try to find a way to just, I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is, but I suppose I'm going to keep making YouTube videos. Is not even a suppose. I'm going to keep making YouTube videos until I don't make YouTube videos. So today I'm doing this, and I want to do this, and I'm present with this. But tomorrow, I don't know. I'm just going to feel this out. Something is changing. I'm being transmuted here, but I don't know the person that I'm letting go of in order to embrace the person that I am becoming, or I have become, that I am realizing it now. But I couldn't realize it until I went through the pattern change and this experience where I don't know who I am. And now here I am in this moment in time telling you guys this stuff. I'm going through change. I'm going through transformation just like you. And something inside me wants to have just human conversation, because I talk a lot about energy stuff, but having human conversation, I always want to just have human conversation, but I don't know. Sometimes when it comes to having human conversation, I notice that it's a bit distracting, because there's a lot of things that I want to do with my life, and what I find, or what I have defined, what I define as a useful use of my time is when I'm being productive. And so it is just talking productive. I feel I'm being productive right now because I'm sharing what I've learned in a way that could be a useful tool to help you maintain productivity. We have to keep being productive people, okay? Otherwise, the robots are going to replace us, because they're going to be the productive people, and we aren't going to be productive people anymore, because we just need to talk about what it means to be human some more, right? All right, guys, stay on task here. Anyway, I think there's value to just talking, though. Just the whole point of why am I still on YouTube, because I think there's value. I don't know how I fit into an algorithm these days. I just don't. I know I don't fit into an algorithm, and I don't know how to fit into an algorithm. but at least if you can find me, right? You found just a regular person who lives a regular life, just talking about regular human stuff from a sensitive level where sometimes a frogman just shows up, okay? Sometimes that happens, and I just need to tell you. Anyway, all right, you guys. I was going to channel Merlin, but this is what I want to share for now. I was going to channel Merlin because Merlin is a reflection of nature, reflection of the Druid, and the harmony of the forest. And I wanted to bring some of that magic into our lives. So stay tuned, because there's going to be some kind of part 2 at some point, because I want to give you guys a taste of Merlin and what he has to say. Do you feel like I should do an encore right now? Should I just do an encore real quick? Maybe I should just do that real quick. If there's no encore in this video, then stay tuned for the encore. I don't know if I've been talking too long. I can't tell. Okay, I'll be right back at some point, okay? Okay, I'm back. Gosh darn it, encore. I'm just going to do this now. I'll just put it all together. Just smush it together so you have this big smush of information today. Okay, so I want to channel Merlin, representation of the Druid. Many people have walked the path of the Druid, so it's a collective, right? A collective of people that are attracted to that wisdom, the balance, the harmony of nature, of the forest. What trees have to say. What does the forest have to teach us? You know what I mean? I like that there's this humble dynamic about him, also an intelligence and a wisdom about him. Kind of reminds me of a Gandalf the Grey figure. Someone who is humble and wise and a protector of innocence. A good person. Okay, I'm gonna do this standing upright. I just want to do it differently, so I'm going to stand. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm not going to fall over, because I can close my eyes and stand at the same time. I'm multi-talented. And let me just see what Merlin would like to share with us about transmuting. World that's being transmuted, and we're all changing, right? Being transmuted by the world as we're transmuting whatever we have to face, or we have to just work with it and know it makes us beautiful people, the pains that we can't change, you know? What does Merlin have to say on this topic, or just any topic that Merlin would like to talk to us about? There's this, okay, he's talking to me about something very important. It has to do with the heart, and it's not a thought. You actually, what you do is you move your conscious into the very organ that is your heart. Can you do that? Once you are within your heart, you feel the structure of your heart. But you notice that there's some kind of opening that is happening, not like a physical hole appearing there, but a light that is blossoming. And that light does feel like it's burrowing, like a gopher in the ground. It's just a light that's burrowing through your heart, but it's expanding too. And sometimes you'll just feel it out of nowhere, and you'll wonder what happened, because it'll just feel so breathtaking. And it might only last for a second or 2 seconds, but it's noticed and it's physically felt, like your nervous system. But it's an energetic nervous system that feels it, and you're aware of it. You become aware of it. And he's reminding me of this feeling. And so I feel that in my heart by choice. I'm choosing to feel that in my heart by choice. And you too can feel that in your heart by choice as well. He asked me, what does it inspire me to do when I feel it? I say, well, I gotta stop. It doesn't inspire me to do anything but stop and just feel it, because I know it's not gonna last long. It's like you notice a meteor in the sky, and it's like, whoa, let's look at that. And then it's gone, you know? It comes and it goes just that fast. You know, I was having a conversation about happiness. He's reminding me about that too. And how I said everybody wants to have a happy life, but happiness is one of those things that it's a cherished moment. It's not like you're going to be always happy. You have cherished moments that are happy, and in a way, happiness is precious. It's for those moments that are sort of enshrined in happiness. That it's not like a feeling that can live forever, so to speak. It's just like a birthday candle. It's lit and now it's blown out until next year, you know? This feeling in the heart, it just comes and it goes. It's like the meteor. Just, it's there, now it's gone. It's a special moment, like seeing the northern lights. Sometimes you just get to see it and you never see it again, you know? It's a happy moment because it's uncomparable to most everyday life, you know? And he tells me that we aspire to be happy. Why would we aspire to be happy? If we were to accept that happiness is just a fleeting event, then what is in between events of happiness? What is the in between? What is that? We aspire to be happy, and we aspire to live happy lives because happiness is worth reaching. It's worth grasping. It's like the magic of the comet. It's adding magic into life. And he's talking about a thought I had about, well, if there were always comets, then it wouldn't be that precious, you know? If there's always northern lights, then it wouldn't be something worth seeing. You just see it all the time, like the sun. We might not be able to see how truly special the sun of ours is because it's always there. We can count on it, like the moon and stuff. I mean, there's stuff we just count on. We can't even tell how beautiful it is to have trees because we have so many trees. Like, what's so special about that? They're everywhere, you know? And so the things that are truly enriching, that give us happiness, like if that's so easy to access, you might not be able to feel it anymore. How truly special it is, how blessed you are, you know? And so I'm talking to him about that. And he still says, but yet you aspire to be happy, you aspire to live happy lives, boring lives, or happy lives. We do aspire to live a happy life. Everybody aspires to live a happy life. Now he takes a side step because we're going to explore what happiness means. To one person might mean something else to another. Because he shows me infections or illness. And nobody wants to get the flu, right? And so let's say you get an illness and it makes you feel sick. But some people adapt to sickness in a way that makes them sick people. He literally means sick, twisted, messed up people that have messed up desires that make them happy. So they're seeking a messed up situation. Their happiness drives them, whatever it takes to access that taste, that digestible ingredient, which actually feeds the sickness, feeds their illness. So now we're looking at happiness in this way. He shows me people who would be happy to go fishing or sailboating, be happy to take a vacation, be happy to get a couple of extra weeks off work. They'd be happy if they could just have a baby. They'd be happy if they could just find their soulmate. And they never stop looking for a soulmate. They never stop trying till they have to accept that maybe it's just not the path for them. But they never stop trying to decide what is going to fill in the blanks, what is going to most fill their cup, right? What are they seeking? But he's talking to me now in comparison between this sickness, this drive, this aspiration, and that's gross, but this aspiration that's really acceptable, it's really understandable, it's beautiful, it's sad, it's I hope you can get that time off work. I hope you can have that baby. I hope you can have that sailboat or that time fishing. I hope you can have that because I would love to see that for you, right? And so there's things that we could agree with that, wow, Those are really nice things. Those are things that make us happy, where this doesn't make anybody happy. And I'm not convinced you're actually, that is the happiness you seek. That is the desecration you seek. So something ill has happened that has turned desecration to love. And that is still false. That is still illusion. That's still sick. That's a sickness. But he's showing me this spectrum, though. It's almost like we are guided by our desires. Like our life path develops around what we seek to fill our cups with. And so our life path bumps into people that we meet along the way. And those people fill our cups, or they take it away, and now we have a life path. Now we have life learning. Now we have experience. Now we have growth. And he's talking about the true happiness is just in the existence. It's not comparing this as yuck and this is good. It's not about comparing right now. We're just seeing that this is the soul that is being enriched by the experiences, and the experience that we're literally like moving forward towards what we seek. Therefore, we provide the classroom for ourselves based on our definition of what creates happiness. And we all aspire to have happiness in life. We don't aspire to have misery. I need more misery. But if the sickness comes in, it might encourage you to be stuck in depression. It might encourage you to be stuck in anxiety. And that's not necessarily happiness. And so how do you get out of that illness? And so you keep aspiring to what brings the harmony for you. And whatever that is, not comparing like, ew, that's not harmony, that's harmony. It's not like that, because it's about the soul right now and the soul journey. And the soul journey is for everybody and what everybody seeks. But it always comes back to seeking something that really nurtures the soul, that feeds the soul. And he's talking to me about about heaven, basically. And that we have heaven within ourselves, so we're already whole. We're already whole. So whatever you don't have to seek it, because you already have it inside your heart. And so now, where does the journey take you once you know that you're whole? What else do you need? Do you need happiness? Do you aspire to happiness, or do you have yourself? Therefore, you have wholeness. And he's talking about transmuting. So the journey takes us back to ourself. So let's say we die, we shed the layers of being human, and we go to heaven. Where do we find in heaven? What is heaven? It's wholeness. Do we have to die in order to get to heaven? Or can we have heaven right now because we choose to know and become aware that we are whole? And he's almost encouraging, like the tree grows roots into the ground. We choose to grow roots into this divine truth that we are whole and we already have heaven with us. And if we are heaven, how do we share heaven with others? And once you can answer that question, you will be on the path. He basically shows me that you will be on the path. So all souls who discover that heaven is already within themselves, they don't seek to have, because they already have wholeness. And everything else just happens, whether they tried to make it happen or they didn't, and it just fell into their lap. They already have everything inside themselves, and the path just is guided by God now. It's not guided by your human will and your human desires and your human mind. You could say it's essentially guided by your heart, that it's guided by the heaven within you. Now you are the very heaven that you've been seeking, but you are the heaven for others. And that's what he's showing me creates the harmony. He keeps showing me trees, and that trees understand that they are whole. And that trees emanate the wholeness outward and give us access to the wholeness through the trees. But they too have wholeness here, that we too have wholeness with the trees. This is what he's showing me. So there you go. There's a message. Is there anything else, Merlin, that's really good? Is there anything else? He's reflecting on everything that I said in this whole video. I can tell right now, because his mind and my mind were, it's like Spock, we're mind melded. Like I can tell Merlin, I can feel his energy circulating around, reflecting. I can feel that experience. That's how my human self interprets that, is quite obvious. He's looking at everything I've been talking about. He's coming back to where's Abbey at on wholeness. And I say, obviously, I got to work on that. I don't know. I mean, all I can do is aspire to, he brings me back to that sensation in the heart. He says, how often could you choose to at least try to build upon it, the memory of it, bring it back to life, let that fire come to life within your heart, and let it build, let it grow, let it be physically experienced. He's telling me it's not about, yes, we'll have rules, yes, we'll have work to do, yes, we'll have people to talk to, and we'll feel a sense of calling or direction, even if it just feels kind of directionless. You're still right where you need to be. It's trying to solve the riddles all the time, trying to solve the riddles. But he's encouraging me to sit with that sensation, the one that he showed me, the one that I feel in my heart sometimes. And just to again be reminded to just remember the wholeness. There's so much more he wants to say, but it feels like that's what I meant to share here on YouTube with all of you. Is there anything else I need to say? That's everything for the super message. You got the encore. I hope it was worth it. If I can help you in a session, one-on-one here, I can help you. Ask me a question and I'll navigate the energies for you and share a reflection of what it's looking like and what I've done here to transmute it through voice recording or video or live. I'm here to help. That's what I do. I navigate energy patterns. I read the energy patterns. I basically give you an outside the box perspective that you might not be able to give yourself, but I'm also here to offer love and harmony. If life feels not so harmonious, I'm here to help. You can book a session at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm going to be exploring more about transmuting energy, and in order to empower others. I'm doing this on Patreon. I'm going to be channeling Merlin as well this month in November 2025. So if it interests you, come join Patreon, patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.